Hi guys, I thought it would be good to start doing series of videos talking about different subject matters, mostly spiritual, sometimes paranormal, sometimes I might go into just a varied array of subjects because I think it's all interconnected. And the first series of videos I'm going to do are about number sequences, because we had quite a lot of responses to our video on 1111, and this first video is what we're going to talk about today. I want to continue what I was saying with regards to 1111 because I've been experiencing quite a bit more personally with it, and I've been reading up on some of the information, and I think it kind of ties in all together with all these different sequences that you can see. So for the benefits of those who haven't seen my first video, just essentially 1111, so you can have number sequences of which your attention is drawn to, normally by your spirit guides, or it can be through a number of means, but generally for me it's been my spirit guides that draw my attention to it. You see it on the time, means that you'll actually just look at the time and you'll just see the sequence of 1101 or 1111. And I explained in the first video, which I'll put a link to in the description, as to the origins of that, how it came from Edgar Casey, and it basically talks about it's a symbol of the connectedness of everything. But what I want to focus on today is actually how you use it, and if you are seeing these numbers, you're seeing this number sequence, what do you do about it, and why is it important, in a sense? Because it's one of them things that it kind of grabs your attention, you're recognizing it, and the more, unless you experienced it for yourself, people can be forgiven for thinking you're absolutely nuts, because you're just constantly talking about, these numbers. So I keep seeing 1111, or I'm seeing it in phone numbers, or I'm seeing it in car license plates, so I'm seeing it in with the time, or even if you see 1311, which is basically the 24-hour clock translation of 111, which would be on a 12-hour clock be 0111, which is essentially the same sequence. For me, what it has been is it's like a guiding influence. So as I said before, it's telling you that you're on the right track, that you're kind of in sync with your life's blueprint. Now, to explain that very slightly, just to give a slight explanation about that, when you're talking about like a blueprint, and this is just, again, all these ideas are my personal inspirations. Some of it's through research. I've done some of it through, most of the stuff is through like sort of field research and working with different people, giving readings, that kind of thing. But before coming here, you kind of map out a blueprint. So a bit like a video game, there's certain video games where you can actually map out the sort of the mission, or the mission brief then, before coming. And what you find is when you're actually seeing these number sequences is that you are in line to a point. What that essentially means is not the fact, it kind of can mean keep doing what you're doing, but it also means that it's a reminder to you. It's giving you the reminder that now is the time to sort of bring into your awareness the things that you want to accomplish and send that information out. It's the perfect time now to move to the next phase or the next level, or just to appreciate where you are. And normally when I see these numbers, it's normally a time when I'm being tested, for lack of a better word. Now, I don't want to go into the life is a test or life is a lesson sort of way of thinking here. I think that's another topic for another time. But what I mean by being tested is when I'm really finding that life is giving me a good old kick a man when he's down, so to speak. Not so much being tested as an examination test then. It's more to do with the fact that like you're approaching a hurdle. Now, I've explained this in several other blogs, but I'll give a brief explanation of this now. We see cycles in so many things in life. Just in the sort of the spiritual sort of topics alone, you see the cycle in the tarot, you see the cycle in astrology, but also you see cycles in nature, the cycle of the seasons, for example, how the Earth orbits the Sun, the cycle of how things move and interact. Everything has a cycle to it. And the way it's been explained to me, it's like a spiral. So it's essentially going pretty much like a whirlpool then. And each time you go round a little ring of that whirlpool, you either sort of break free of it, or you go back round again. And the example I gave in the first video of this was, if you keep attracting the same person in a relationship, this is something a lot of people have a lot of problems with, is they will attract people that have a constant theme. They'll attract people that are abusive, or they'll attract people that have certain problems, and until they sort of break free and actually see something within themselves, that problem will keep coming up. And as you sort of get to the point of realization, that's when you'll generally start to see the 1111. You'll start to see those sequences. So it's essentially giving you the instruction then, for lack of a better word, or giving you the inspiration to say, look, even though times are hard, you are not alone in this one. We're with you, that kind of thing. And I find that hard to express, just kind of me in general, and I'm going through a healing cycle myself. But what I tend to find, it is kind of like as if a bit of hand holding them, just to say, look, just keep that intent coming, keep focusing on what you want to do, but also keep being aware, or be more aware of your body, and be more aware of your surroundings. Are you in need of healing at the moment? Are you going to need to step back? Do you need to take time to allow this energy to build for the next phase to manifest? Thank you. For the next phase to manifest. And so my advice, when you see these numbers, is just take a bit of time, just step back and sort of think to yourself, what were my thoughts today? What am I thinking of? What's the cycles I'm going in right now? Why am I going through what I'm going? What sort of part of the story? I've done another video called Understanding the Story of Your Life, and this is very much becoming a theme at the moment. And I think I want to explore that in a much more, in a better way. But if you hold that intent, and if you explore those thoughts, you'll come to a realization that you are on the right track. And though things seem hard, you might just have to take a little bit of time just to let that energy build and to manifest, and witness what your thoughts are saying. Because whereas the events that you go through are like a cycle, it's as above, so below. So the events are an expression of what you are feeling inside. So what you feel inside is what you're experiencing, is the manifestation of that. And normally, as you come across a hurdle, it's a bit like revising for an exam then, or going to the dentist. It's like there's that kind of bit of nervousness that builds up, and all that worry that pops up. So through worrying, you're creating that reality that you basically don't like, and you're making the situation even worse. So sometimes you gotta, sometimes this is really difficult to do, because you've got pressures coming in, you've got bills that need to be paid, you might have letters coming through the door, or deadlines to meet. And when I actually look at it from a wider perspective, so I step back and I literally just sort of say, right, okay, all this is happening, it's getting on top of me, let's take 5. If I need to have a sleep, or if I need to have a rest, let's take 5 or a couple of days to step back and give it to myself. That's what I need to do. And you start to see the bigger picture of how all these pieces, because when you go through this cycle, and each time you go around, you're collecting different pieces, you're collecting different threads of the story of your life, you're collecting different plot threads. And a lot of the time, when you're looking at it like this, and you know, oh my God, the rent's got to be paid next week, oh my God, the water rates are got to be paid, and oh my God, we run out of gas and electric, and all this sort of thing, oh my God, the kids are going to be ready for school, or, you know, or terms coming, new terms coming, we've got to get uniform, and you start seeing things so closely, you're missing the picture. So you were looking at the puzzle piece, and you're not seeing all those different things that have come in. And then when you start looking back, and you look back over the, like, say, the last 4 or 5 months of your life, or the last time you went round this cycle, you could see how much new information has come in. So when we actually go through these cycles, and when we go have these hurdles in life, so when we keep meeting the same people, or we keep making the same mistakes, it's not like the universe is throwing us back into the rat race and hoping to God that we finish, we get it right next time. Each time we go round, we're getting increasingly more capable of dealing with it. And though it means that it's a little bit harder to get out of, because you've got all that baggage from the past coming up on you, you still have much more of a mental armoury, if you choose to see it that way, and you choose to see yourself in a light that is much more compassionate and much more kinder to yourself. And that's what these numbers are saying, is like, hold that intent, stay the course, but look after yourself. And that's pretty much what I want to say on that one. So thank you for watching this short vlog. I'm going to be doing a few videos in this series. I'm actually going to record the next one now, so you'll see me when they say on top. And there's a few number sequences I want to talk about, because I know there's been a few comments on the channel about number sequences, the other number sequences that people have been seeing. These are all from my own experiences. I don't know much about numerology. I just know what I've researched through my own experience, my own exploration. And you will find that, like, there are different nuances that are unique to you with each thing that you experience. There are commonalities, but you know, each of us, our perception is different. So thank you for watching. For more information, check us out on our website. It's www.spiritualworlds.co.uk. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time with a new blog. Cheers.